Hey everybody, Arthur here with another unboxing video. Today we have Marvel Legends series X-Men Mr. Sinister, and this is from the Wendigo Build-A-Figure wave, and I've been sort of backlogged, so I have this set. I'm missing two, which I'm waiting on for their prices to drop because they're not really that sought after, but one I needed to get a hold of for sure was Mr. Sinister. So they come in this nice black and yellow X-Men packaging, stays uniform with your X-Men collection for your, mint on card collectors. But, these are mint on card collecting boxes, so you can actually slide them out, take the figure out, and put them back in because, that's how they did it. Got some really cool artwork of Mr. Sinister on the side, same on both sides. Then we have the back of the box where you can read up a little bit about Mr. Sinister, so feel free to pause it if you'd like. Also has that nice little artwork that we've seen on the side, just in the full image. Then we have everybody from the wave to build this crazy figure. So I definitely have Mr. Sinister, Nightcrawler, Skipped on Guardian, got Boom Boom, and these two I'm waiting for that price to drop because he's been the biggest disappointment from the wave. And then it's X-Force Wolverine, it's another Wolverine, and he was like 2 per box. Mr. Sinister looks great out of the package, and he does come with the arm of Wendigo, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call it. It's an arm for the Build-A-Figure. So I look forward to building up Wendigo, but that's really it when it comes to accessories. I wish we could have got something more, like an alternate hands, maybe a different face. I just feel like, yes, this is a bulky figure. He has a giant cape. I just feel like we could have used some maybe alternate hands, effect pieces, alternate head. I'm being a little greedy. I just want a little bit more with this figure. When it comes to this figure, my biggest gripe is that his mouth and teeth are just weird. It looks like he's frothing at the mouth, and I thought I found one that was better, bought it, and it wasn't, so I had to return it. So I don't know. I would love to find a better, at least have the lipstick or whatever painted better. But it just definitely looks like he's been frothing at the mouth. Other than that, everything else pretty clean. The diamond, his eyes, the eyeliner, very nice, very great. Like, I love the sculpt work in the face. All the wrinkles and stuff. White sort of, hides it a little bit with the light hitting it. Just in those right spots, it looks great. He does have this giant rubber like collar going around. And it's weird that the little chin part underneath doesn't seem to really be center, or something just seems off about that little mark right there. He does have the diamond. My diamond's in great shape. I've seen some that were scratched. Like, he had a lot of QC issues with this figure. I love the glossy plastic they used for the cape. The shoulder pads. Belt is a little bland there. Wish they would have done something nice, since it's like you got this nice metallic plastic showing off all this sculpted detail, and then you just get this blah. Like, it almost looks like somebody made it themselves and put it on there. We do get a nice wrinkly end of a glove, and we get that nice menacing Sinister hand gripping, as I almost dropped him. Looks very, very nice. It's awesome. It's just like ruling the world type of hand, or get him like a goblet, like a cool chalice or something that would put in his hand. Then we get a fist hand on this one, so you can get him to punch the heroes in the face, but it would have been cool to have an alternate hand there. Then we get into his thigh highs. This is weird to me. Like, I love, again, that like types of plastic stand out, and you make a figure it's not even painted, but it's like he has these thigh highs, but then he has like little booties over the thigh highs. Really, I don't get it. So he had boots over boots, or were these like custom stockings? I don't get it. Then we look at the back. He has this cape painted heavily painted. You can get a little bit of red peeking through here. It is multi-layered. The top is very, very round, like almost squished. It needs to be rounded, like heated up to give that round flow. But it's not bad. I know a lot of people were complaining that these pieces weren't individual like tassels, but it's all right, I guess. Oh, wow. Look at that nasty mess right there. That's what happens when you're using so much paint. Stuff starts sticking. It just looks nasty. You can actually feel the nasty there. That's unfortunate. And then you can't take his cape off. It's like they glued it in the back. Like the presentation up there just looks nasty. But you're not going to be, lifting up, be like, hey, I'm Mr. Sinister. My Mr. Sinister cape is glued. Like, no, you're not. Even this way, it looks pretty good. There's the, probably the culprit that stuck to the back, caused the other one to have weird paint issues. Now let's go ahead and run through articulation. So his head can look that far and can look this far. And I mean, sure, you could probably force it around, but I don't want to have red paint scratch all over his nose and stuff. He can look down quite a bit, a nice amount. And then he can look up a good amount, enough for this type of collar. And then he does have a little bit of attitude there. So a little bit, just a little bit. Arms, the shoulder pads don't hinder him at all. I'm okay with that. The fact that they look nice and can move, but they hinder when you're trying to get his arm up. So it has to be bowed out a little bit. So you can't just do that perfect rotate like you'd want to. But you can rotate it. Again, it just hits that at that point. But bringing it up, you're fine. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. So you get that nice movement. And then we get wrist rotation and wrist bend. Again, same articulation on the other side. And then as for his ab crunch, he can lean forward quite a bit. And he can lean back a little bit. So forward more than the back. But this is neutral. That's his back. As for the waist, he does have waist swivel. Gives him bookshelf hips a little bit. He can actually do the Van Damme very well. And then if he can do that, he can do pretty much a Spartan kick, but his leg sort of wants to bow out to the side. Lines are going through. His actual thigh cut is where the boot is, which is awesome. Double jointed knees, ankle bend, pivot, and we have a boot cut down there too. Nice. So maybe that explains why he has boots over boots. Decided to grab the skull I got from the Quan Chi figure I had, and it works really well. Really well. And he's just a menacing, sick, and sinister. Yep, I said it. Said the word sinister. He looks awesome. I love how his cape looks. Sort of has it's like flowing in all these different directions, so it doesn't really matter as much. But I mean, it's a big hulking figure. You can even have him in that like lunging to grab your throat and throw a punch, and that's all balancing on one foot. That is all balancing right there. Now it's comparison time. We got our gym rat, protein eater, well buffed up Mr. Sinister. Then we got the Toy Biz that looks like he's been on meth, Mr. Sinister. But I can't really dog on this one. This has been the Mr. Sinister for a while. The collar on this one is ginormous compared to the other one. And one thing a lot of people liked, and I liked as well, is the individual tassels that were on the Toy Biz one. But as you can see, you had basically like two wings of them, and they looked all right when you had this figure, but then when you see it next to this one, Hasbro definitely has it in the bag. But let's bring up a little bit of a close-up so we can take a look at these guys and their gnarly little mugs. So he has more of a grayish look, grayish blue for the Toy Biz, more white for the Hasbro. The diamond on the head has a little bit more sculpt wrinkles around it on the Toy Biz one. And he has a lot more like angriness to his face compared to this smiling one. Now mine would look a lot more sinister and creepy if it was painted properly. But this one, the weird thing about it is just like he had that big ears, and like the sculpt of the head itself was just weirdly bony, proportioned. But I love the sculpted in detail for the pauldrons up here. He's showing off a little bit of his chest, which I'm okay with the Hasbro one not having that. The diamond on this one is a metallic red, which would have been nice to see on the Hasbro one. Then we get into the belt. This one has a bunch of little squiggly doos, and it's metallic red. This would have looked okay with some squiggly doos, or just being in metallic red. Just something where it just didn't look so bland. And then we get into the thigh highs. Actually, before we get into thigh highs, the gloves. The gloves are a lot different. Like the Toy Biz one has a lot of sculpted in detail, which looks really wicked. Individual opposing fingers, which, I mean, it's pretty cool. You can have fun flicking other figures off with them. But the sculpted in detail in the hands and the texture and stuff looks really nice. This one's just a normal looking hands and a glove. Then we get into his thigh highs. And this one, this is where they really do the figure justice when it comes to the Toy Biz one. The thigh highs don't have a cut there, but you can see there one giant boot. You get the boot cut there, ankle bend, double jointed knee, but you get all the shading throughout. So it's just not one plastic. You got like the darks and everything. Just the gradients of the blues and everything on the figure just look really awesome. And the figure is still one of my favorite figures to this date. It's time to be more uniform, and it'll be sad to see this figure go, as he will no longer be on display. I'm probably gonna, he'll probably be going to somebody else's collection, to be honest. But I mean, this is definitely a really nice Mr. Sinister. It'll be sad to put him up, but gotta do what we gotta do. You can even have your Mr. Sinister holding Pizza Spidey up by his face, which looks badass. It is an awesome, awesome pose. It just shows the power that Mr. Sinister would have. He's just crushing and holding them up by his face. But this figure is awesome. Can't wait to put him on my shelf. And that sums up my unboxing and review of the Marvel Legends series X-Men Wave Mr. Sinister from the Wendigo Build-A-Figure Wave. If you guys like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you guys know when I post up a new video. And I want to make sure you guys check out Toyco Toys and Collectibles. Website is down below. You got a promo code down below for you guys to get free shipping from that website. So find some collectibles, get them delivered to you for free. And then you also have the 2 Facebook groups. You got the community, interact with your like-minded collectors, talk figures, trade figures, just really have a good time. Then you also have the pre-order group, which allows you to know what's coming out, allows you to get dibs on some amazing pricing, because Toyco does stomp on the competition when it comes with new figures coming out. SH Figuarts, Figma, Storm Collectibles. Definitely check out Toyco, because Andrew prices his stuff amazing. And it comes to your doorstep nice and crispy. Also, I want you guys to check out the Facebook group, Plastic Cannibals. That's my group. It's a nice little tight-knit family of collectors. We help each other out. We talk figures, trade figures, show pictures of our collections. We just have a really good time in the group. And the only way you really can get into it is you have to answer 3 questions, and then you can get in and we start talking and having a good time about collectibles and figures and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out. And I want you guys to have the best luck hunting. Keep on collecting. Have a beautiful day.